Awesome. So we're recording. Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're doing our little nutrition meeting here. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about eating and our feelings while we're eating. Sometimes we eat our feelings. Sometimes we eat to feel better. I know definitely I've been doing some of that lately, being stuck in the house. Definitely been eating just more out of feeling and whatnot. So let's get it started. So last week we discussed stress eating and overeating and the solutions to help those situations. Now, some of the emotions that we feel after we stress eat or overeat could be shame, the act of feeling bad about yourself, judging yourself as a person. You know, you shouldn't have had that cookie or cake or loaf of banana bread, I think an example has been. Or like guilt, but like with those things you have to think about it, like, did I commit a crime? Did I steal the money to get that food? Like, eating's not a crime, so like why should I feel guilty about doing something that's not wrong, you know? So where does this idea come from? We have different voices in our minds. You can think of these as food voices, and some of them are beneficial, some of them are harmful. So yeah, and then we have to think about also the situations. And I'd love to know if you guys have worked through, like what situations you guys have worked through with eating and different situations that you guys kind of find yourself in where you might tend to like overeat or go a certain way like that. So that's as far as I'm going to go with the script. And then, so let's just open it up. Feel free to unmute yourself if you'd like to contribute. We'll start it off by like, what are some struggles that you guys have possibly come across in this past week that you've come into with like your feelings and the situations that we're in and nutrition wise? So anybody jump up, or I can volunteer some people, just pick on you.
I can start with something. So out after I ate dinner, and then come like 9-10 o'clock, I'm hungry again. I'm just like getting that munchies, and I want something sweet, especially after watching the news, because, you know, maybe I watched maybe a few minutes of it and then I'm getting all like, whoa, and just want something sweet. So anyone have any suggestions to curb that sugar fix that you want at 10 o'clock at night?
Here, let me unmute everybody. There we go. Just speak up when you have a chance.
I want chips at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband likes to snack late too, so that's hard.
Something I know I do personally to combat like that late night snacking is I'll do like Fit Aid, or not the Fit Aid, the like the water additives. So I'll do like the Mio or something like that, where it's like no calories, it's not really bad for you, and if anything, it's good for you, and it's going to give you the stuff that your body needs while you're sleeping.
What is that?
It's the Fit Aid.
Okay.
I think is what it's called. And then we have it. It's the like the water additive. It has like the BCAAs. You could use BCAAs as well. I tend to go with like I do Mio sometimes from like the grocery store. I really like I forget what flavor. It's like the orange cream. It basically tastes like an orange creamsicle. So I'll just use that in my water before, and or at night, like late at night when I'm getting hungry, and I'll just like drink a bottle of water of that, and that kind of helps curb that sweet tooth aspect with like no real consequences other than giving yourself like your body something that it's going to need when it's sleeping and trying to repair anyways.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Any other questions or things that we've run across that we need help with?
I know, right?
mean, what do you guys do when, like, what's something that you come across and do when you like tend to overeat, or do you guys tend to like punish yourself the next meal after having like a cookie or two or something like that? Is that something that happens?
Mm, no.
No. All right. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, that's really good.
Just go, okay, maybe I should not do that tomorrow. Eat less of whatever I did. I'm not drinking enough water either, so
Yeah, I mean, that's really good to hear, because a lot of times that ends up how you like end up yo-yo dieting.
yeah.
And I mean, I'm guilty of it myself, where like 2 nights ago I ended up having like an entire Italian loaf of bread and like 2 bowls of pasta. I just couldn't help myself. It was so good.
Right,
It had like
right.
onion on the top, and it was just amazing. But then I like wanted to skip my like breakfast oatmeal, you know. You just have to like stay in that mindset of like, no, you know what, just like, you know, I might have fallen off the horse, but get back, like just right back on the horse. You don't have to go over correct. And we just continue doing
Right.
the whole thing. So I mean, that's really good to hear from all of you.
Yeah.
Is there any just general nutrition questions that you guys have?
Well, I have a question. It's like, eating carbs.
Okay.
It's like, what are the most ideal times, I guess, to eat carbs? Because I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it either, because,
And I mean, with a lot of nutrition, it's always, there's like everybody has a different answer. But generally what I would say is that you would want to like stay away from carbs later at night. Because when you eat carbs, basically it's broken down into sugar. Carbohydrates are broken down into glucose in its simplest form. And that's what your body's going to use first as energy. So throughout the day, carbs are all right, because especially like right before you work out, a little bit of carbs is okay, because your body's going to immediately burn off that sugar. All right. But the problem is especially later at night, like right before you go to bed, if you eat carbs, the body's still going to break it down into glucose, and then that excess sugar isn't going to be used. So that's when it's going to end up being stored as fat. So I would say carbohydrates earlier in the day rather than later, and then I would say before any big exertion. So I know you like to work out more in the evenings. What session do you normally do? The 4:30?
4:30 or 5:15, yeah.
Okay, I would say like like half an hour to an hour before, a little bit of carbs, like simple carbs. So we're talking like more like your apples, like your fruits. Those are your simple carbs, which is just easier for the body to break down into the glucose molecules. And then, so I'd say like, yeah, half an hour to an hour before, have a little bit of carbs, because that's gonna, get you that pump of energy that you need. And then, like an apple's not gonna give you that many carbs. It's not gonna net that much glucose. So you'll be able to burn through that pretty quick, and that's when you're gonna go on your body's like reserves, like the glycogen stores, because getting like way into the science of it, your glucose then turns into glycogen, which then like it's turned into the like stored as that excess fat.
Mm.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
It's
awesome.
helping. Yeah, because I try to also like eat a lot of protein earlier in the day. I'll have like a protein packed cereal or yogurt and things like that in the morning. So I try to load up on that in the morning.
Yeah, that's good. With the protein is the slowest digesting thing you can eat, based off of carbs and like fats. So it's going to take the body longer to digest protein. So it's going to make you feel fuller longer, because just think of like a battery that's getting drained quick compared to a battery that drains over an hour or two. It's just going to like give you that better sensation throughout the day.
Cool.
Awesome. Any other questions, comments, issues we're having? Yes, hold on. Yes, Nelly?
I have a question. So sometimes instead of eating like a cookie or something like that, I gravitate towards sugars. I will eat like a banana. Is that at night? Is that something that I should stay away from?
With like a banana or a cookie, I would say definitely go with a banana.
I'm into the sugars. Like even though I'm trying not to eat like late at night, like I will gravitate towards like starchy fruits and stuff like that. Is that something I should be more like is it an apple with less carbs and stuff like that?
Okay, so just so that I understand your question, are you saying like instead of the banana, should you is there something else you could be eating that's like a little less starchy? And less sugary? Yeah, I would say go with an apple over a banana just because like you were saying, it's less starchy. So the banana is going to have more of the starchy carbs associated with it. With fruit, I tend personally, and I mean, like I said, I'm no nutritionist, all right? So I'm just explaining off of what's worked with me. But fruits, I don't like fully count as carbs just because it's natural sugars. So what you really want to be worried about is your added sugars, because that's going to be your like non-natural like grain sugar that is just added into it. So you want those simple carbs, because even if you have like a banana, are you like how late at night, like before we go to bed, are we talking?
Like 8, sometimes 9, because sometimes I do feel hungry like later in the day or right before I go to bed. And I just want to eat something, and if I don't have Nutella in the house, I will get banana. It's true. That's what I do.
Oh yeah.
So I will get a banana, but it's later like in the evening. So it's maybe an hour before I go to bed.
Okay.
2 hours at the most.
Yeah, I always try not to eat an hour before bed just because that allows your stomach to empty, and when you're sleeping, your body goes into like sleep mode. So a lot of like the digestion is going to be slowed down a lot. So instead of it getting digested and passing through all of that and being disposed of, it's going to like sit there, and just more of it's going to be absorbed and stored because we're not using it. That those sugar stores aren't being used right away as if we were going throughout the day and our glucose is being used and whatnot. That being said, an apple an hour before bed, I don't think is an issue. I don't think that's really something to be too worried about. And even a banana, I think that would be okay. But that being said, like maybe try the water trick, drinking like a bottle of water or something that has some flavoring in it, just to give you that little bit of that sweet tooth, that satisfaction. Because it's still going to create that chemical reaction in the brain, because that's why we like to eat food, is we get hungry. Our stomach, when it shrinks and gets to a certain size, excretes hormones that are sent to the brain to tell us that we're hungry. And then once we eat and it expands, it sends different hormones to cut off that appetite. And then eating, you get dopamine and all that. Those pleasure chemicals are released by eating. Like chocolate is like on one of those, on one of those scales. I forget what it was. Some class I was in, it had like the dopamine amount released when you like smoke versus other drugs and all that, and like chocolate was on that like in the mix there, and I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, the dopamine that was released by eating chocolate is like enough to be on that list. I was like, wow. So that's why, like, we eat chocolate and you want more and more and more. It's not just because you can't control yourself. You're actually like getting pleasure chemically from that.
I'm in
So,
trouble. I'm in trouble.
so yeah, I would say try that water. Try not to eat an hour or two before bed. That way, everything's just being used, and then once you go to sleep, your body is using like its stores for that minimal amount of metabolic rate, that like calories that are being burned. But if you feel like you're starving and you have an apple an hour before you go to bed, you're gonna be.
Not sorry. I'm just hungry.
It's way better than the cookie or the Ben and Jerry's. But yeah, I think I've gone through like 3 tubs of Nutella throughout this 2017. So that's one of my. I love the chocolate hazelnut. I could just eat it with a spoon.
Right? Yeah.
I do that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Oh, then I'm in trouble with the chocolate.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, it could literally be different for anybody. It just depends on the chemical reaction in your own brain, and you know. And I think the more you like apples or peaches, like the more I eat them, the more I get that like head satisfaction of eating a food.
Yeah.
Or some people like
What
sweet
about-
rather than savory. So
What about smoothies? Like frozen fruit smoothies, are those fine during the day, or
are
Is that-
you
too much sugar?
making them, or are you getting
Yeah.
them from somewhere?
Yeah, no, making them.
Yeah, then it's just like eating regular fruit. So again, you need to like factor in all of that fruit and sugar into, because it is still natural sugar. As much as I'm saying like watch the included sugar,
Right.
like, you still need to be wary of the numbers. You don't need to like worry so much that is the included sugar, but and then yeah, you just keep track of what you put into it. I love smoothies.
Okay.
A lot of what I'll do too is at night, if I feel like getting ice cream, because that's my guilty pleasure. I love ice cream.
Me too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'll make smoothies at night with, even if it's just like ice, a little bit of coconut milk, and then a scoop of protein powder,
Right.
and mix that up.
I
It
was
kinda gets
doing that.
creaminess.
I was doing that a lot when I was in a challenge, but now that I'm not in a challenge, I'm like, whatever. So I've been guilty pleasure of ice cream. So,
And
Oh, yeah.
adding spinach and avocado, like a small amount, into smoothies, you can't even taste it, and it gets
okay.
that extra. Yeah, you
That's
just
good.
put like a slice of avocado, and then like a little, handful of spinach.
Spinach. Okay. I'll try that again.
And it actually makes it less tart, from the sweetness,
Right.
the banana. Because I'll take avocado, spinach, banana, and strawberries, and just put those in a blender, and I'm not adding anything else. I might put it like a drop of almond milk in it just to
Right.
cream it up a little bit, or water, and they taste good just like that without adding anything else.
Right. Okay. That's a good one too. Thank you.
Awesome. Russell, Kelly, any questions,
I'm
comments,
good.
concerns?
They're answering the questions that were on my mind. So
Oh, good.
How about popcorn? I eat lots of popcorn.
Is it like the super buttered popcorn?
Nope, it's just popcorn popped in a little bit of olive oil, and that's it. Nothing else.
No, you're golden. That was one of my biggest things when I was like doing a weight loss challenge and really trying to cut myself. Because popcorn, it'll fill your stomach up, and it's basically 0 carbs or 0 calories. I'm not saying it is 0, right? So
Right.
no quoting on that. No, Coach Keaton said I could eat all the popcorn I wanted. But no, it's like I think you can find popcorn out there. You could eat a big bowl of popcorn and it's like 10 calories, like that. So no, popcorn's fine.
Terrific. I'll keep eating popcorn.
That's the best news. That's the best news we've heard this week, huh, Russell?
I know.
That's better
We'll
than
all
that
eat
loaf of
popcorn.
banana bread.
Very good. Excellent.
Awesome. Everybody's doing good with like recipes. You guys meal planning, meal prepping, or we cook as we go?
I try and somewhat meal plan. In fact, I take out something from the freezer, but it's hard cooking every day.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is when I don't meal prep and I don't have something healthy readily available, that's when I tend to go into the alphabet cookies from Trader Joe's and
Yes.
a spoonful of peanut butter and yeah.
Yeah. We all
With
do.
honey.
Oh, with honey, yep. Oh yeah.
All right.
Awesome. If we have no other questions, that's really all I got for you guys.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keaton.
Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Have a good day.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.